Your mitochondria is considered the battery of your body. So your mitochondria health is so vital to your health.
Hey there. Welcome to Top of Mind. Real talk for today's woman. With Anna and Karen.
Did you want to start us off on this one?
Well, I can start us off and introduce you.
Smart ass.
Because again, yeah. Are we? We got to go back.
Recording. I hope. Yes, we're still recording.
Oh, this being recorded. Now I say, welcome back to our uplifting and powerful November episodes. So today we decided we're going to talk a little bit about something that maybe could be a learning opportunity. And we're going to talk about charged water. Like I did a workshop, Karen participated in that last year, and that was one of the things we talked about is drinking charged water. Now, the way that I charge water is to get just a mason jar, and you put it out with the full moon, and it kind of changes the properties of the water. But we talked about how we don't always stick to things that are good for us, and that this is mine. I've not really stuck to the charged water. So I'm going to turn it over to my very capable co-host, and she's going to tell us about her experience and with healing and charged water.
So the first thing, what's charged water? Everybody's going to go, what the hell's that?
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah. So basically, and this is where I'm going to slaughter it, anime. We haven't done our real research, so I just pulled it up 2 minutes ago. So Dr. Masaru Emoto, is that how you say his name? Okay, yep. So many years ago, I think in the 70s, he decided to do some experimentation with plants, and basically looked at, what happens when you talk to plants in a certain way at a cellular level, and what happens when you speak to them in a harsh way. And at the cellular level, he started looking at these cells, and they looked like they were cancerous, they were horrible looking, they were dark, compared to when you lovingly talked to a plant, touched it, this type of stuff. So he published this book, thought he'd be great and everything like that. And the whole scientific community kind of went, you're crazy, you're nuts. And he ruined his relationship. He ruined his reputation. And he kind of went away quietly, very humiliated. And then I think, and correct me, Annie, you know a little bit more in this, but and then his research, I think, was picked up by, I'm not sure who, but in the 80s.
Well, he continued his research.
Oh, he did. Okay.
He did. And I'm going to see if I can find out, because you're going to go back to the book that we talked about, The Hidden Messages of Water.
Yes, that's it. The Hidden Messages of Water. Yes.
But I'm just going to take a quick minute, and because he started his own research on this, and he actually, and again, sometimes people are like, oh, it's woo-woo or whatever, but he actually had I'm going to see who we had behind him.
So what I do know is he started to look at music and how that impacts by charging the waters that he would be putting into the plants, and how this different. So if you've ever heard of solfeggio frequencies, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's SOLFEGGIO. So that was taking certain substances. Everything's a vibration. That's where it comes from, right? So everything's a vibration, and how you read it. So if you've heard of, if you do Spotify or anything like that, you can do a solfeggio, I can't see it, 528 megahertz for calm down and clear your mind music. You see lots of things like this. How to have this megahertz to change your anxiety or this type of stuff. So what they've kind of shown is that that everything has a frequency, a vibration, which is a frequency, and that it impacts things at a cellular level. So about a year and a half ago, my partner had what seemed to be what they called a mitochondria disease. Now that word's all over the place now. One goes, it goes through, but at the time, a year and a half ago, nobody knew anything about it. And a fellow at work talked about this Toronto-based company that was taking all the medicines that they could find and change and creating their vibration in a frequency wave in order to charge water with the idea of drinking it. So it's a little bit like how, if you think of homeopathy, this, like cures like, it's kind of like that. You take in little sips. So for example, if I needed Ozempic, I couldn't get it because I couldn't afford it or they wouldn't give me the prescription. I could actually, that's a certain frequency. I take it in my body, or like a vaccination, my body responds to it as if it's the thing that I took,
Mm-hmm.
and changes everything at a cellular level. So he had a complex on there that was called mitochondria booster, to different medications, things, ideas. Some of them are vitamins, supplements. Again, this is all vibration. It's taking, and I don't know how he does it. I have to go on his website, which I can tell you, it's called Infopathy. So Infopathy, Toronto-based guy. And if you basically pick what you want and you can zap it in. So for example, I had an elbow operation, the carpal tunnel, where they move your freaking elbow. Okay, your all nerve. Now, yeah, I have to hit it weird in order to have it buzz. But so afterwards, it's like I drank things and I healed really, really fast. The pain went away within a day or two. Like,
Wow.
and I believe, rather than taking the medications that I could, painkillers. So you wonder, well, why would you do that rather than taking the painkillers? Well, the reason why is because it changes you in a cellular level in some good ways. So for example, my partner, part of mitochondria disease is not having energy. Like so much so you can't lift your arm. Things that we take for granted, going to the washroom, walking that 2 or 3 times a day, exhausts them. Okay, people with this condition. So I found this booster and she started taking it each day. Now I must say, as a habit person and doing things, she fell off. But I do it for her every day. I have a routine, I make my lunches and things like that. So anyway, it changed everything. When she gets up now, she doesn't have brain fog. The first she sips this stuff, it has changed her life. So I never believed in it until I saw the effect on her. I thought it was a bunch of bunk, but I was willing to try anything. It was the only thing that came up for help with mitochondria disease at that time.
And that's the Infopathy website that you gave
Yes.
everybody? Okay.
So he has a disc that he charges, and again, just using frequencies through light and that type of stuff. You can listen to frequencies come in different ways. You can see them like on a chart if you have certain instruments on the ECGs. They're all frequencies, right? As Anna has talked about, think about being in a room with a radio, and there's lots of frequencies in there. You have to tune. Another way is you can hear them. They're all listening as well. You've heard of binaural beats. That's about having a couple at the same time. So we know that everything can be changed down to a frequency, a vibration, you know. And what we're learning is that this stuff isn't bunk that we used to think it is, that in fact it has some basis starting way back when in the 70s, when he was laughed at for his water holding at the time memory, but it's kind of like frequencies, that type of stuff, and that we can change things. So, it's something just to encourage you that don't take my word for it. I forget who said that. Don't take my word for it. I think it's Tony Robbins. Go out and explore it yourself. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, look it up. Find out some stuff. If you have some ailments, if say, for example, you hate taking, like I shouldn't take ibuprofen, for example. So when I have aches and pains, I can take the charge stuff, and it doesn't have the negative connotations that actually taking the ibuprofen does. It's my body's natural way.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of it is alternative. So it's something that I really believe in, that I talk to people about. They think I'm crazy. It does take away pain. It does a lot of things. There are some on there I've gone and what the heck? I think arthritis. We're trying to help with her arthritis hands. Nah, that didn't work. Like not everything works for everybody. I was using it to bring down my blood sugar. It didn't work. But when I had the pain in my arm, it worked. you know and again, I think the best thing is there's not the side effects of taking those actual drugs themselves.
Well, I think one, it's important that we recognize that everything has a vibration. Every cell in your body is vibrating. Your mitochondria is considered the battery of your body. So your mitochondria health is so vital to your health because that's our battery. And we recharge that battery through different ways. Sunlight helps us recharge our mitochondria. Karen's giving you another alternative as it relates to charged water to help you recharge your mitochondria. Um, and I find it fascinating because going back to Dr. Emoto, I mean, one of the things that, again, if you believe in manifestation, one of the most powerful ways to manifest is using water.
Hmm.
And I did, for a while there, again, I did experiment with it as it relates to my tennis game. Hey, I'm shameless.
And how did your tennis
I would
improve?
drink my water and then I would manifest and I would talk to the water that I'm going to have a great tennis game, that I'm going to not make a lot of errors. And then I would, you're basically, you're drinking in that water. You're drinking in that positivity. Um, I'd love to tell you that it didn't work. Honestly, I mean, I probably need to get back to that shit, honestly. Um,
Sorry, what did you say? Did you just say that it didn't work?
no, I said, I'd like to tell you it didn't work. I said, but I need to get back to doing that shit because,
It
again,
worked.
yeah, it worked. But here's the deal. Like last night I played tennis with somebody and she was a 3-0. And the first thing she said to me, that's a rating. So she was kind of rated below me. Doesn't mean she's below me, but she's rated below me. She says to me, my serve is terrible, just so you know. And I said to her, not tonight. Your serve is on. And at the end of the match, you know what she said to me? I had the best service that I've ever had. So, I mean, that's kind of, it's the vibration. And again, we're talking about the water. So, Dr. Emoto, as Karen said, like he would have different things of water. He would, he would have one that basically said, you're disgusting, you're worthless. And the way the water crystallized kind of was not in a pretty way. And then they would have other vials of water where they would, pray over it, or they'd play great music, or they would talk to the water, and the crystals formed, very beautiful patterns. Feel free to look it up. Um, but really, what Karen is saying is at the most basic level, it's about vibration and it's about our frequency. And I just want to thank you all because now, we started pretty low, but my vibration
Yeah,
honestly is coming up. I don't know.
I
How's
know.
yours?
I know. You know what? It's funny because I was just thinking that when you started talking, like we started this month crappy, and
Yeah.
it's like all of a sudden, hey, we're both doing pretty good with the vibration. I absolutely thought that, notice it.
Yeah. So here's my question to you folks out there. Pseudoscience, woo woo. I mean, what do you think? Are
Mm,
you are you willing to give it a try? I mean, and maybe we'll talk at a later time. Maybe we'll talk about some manifestation and I'll teach you about water manifestation. It's all you just don't know. You just don't know.
so that's a great place to end. Stay open, explore, investigate,
Yes.
because there's lots out there that we don't really know about.
And
And
we don't understand. I mean,
yep,
think about the human body. Think about like the ocean. We understand a lot of space, but we understand less than 10% of the ocean. And the
yeah.
body, like again, is the same. It's we don't understand a lot of the things about our body. Um, so we have to stay open and we have to try and we have to experiment. We have to raise our vibration.
Yes. Just talk to your water beforehand. No. So thank you for joining us. And we really want to know, do you think we're punked? And maybe we'll come up with a challenge. Are you open to trying something different? So anyway, thank you for joining us. I am Karen Vale, Confidence and Mindset Coach, and I am here with my pal.
Anna Jennings, and I'm a midlife mentor.
Thanks for joining us.